Hey y'all, what is up and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be playing with some new products by Mario D. Vonovic. Everyone knows him. He is one of my all-time favorite makeup artists. Of course, he works on Kim Kardashian. That is where he basically became popular from, but he has finally launched his own makeup brand. Now, despite of however you may feel about the Kardashians, that is not what we're talking about. I am talking about him. I am absolutely obsessed with all of his work, his techniques, his skill, his whole vibe. I love it. So when I saw he was coming out with his own makeup line, I was like, about freaking time. So I've got two products here today. I have the Master Eye Prep and Set, this guy here, and I got it in the shade Deep. And I also have the Master Mattes palette here. Just beautiful, super simple, all matte palettes. So we will go ahead, do a quick little demo using these, and then after that, we'll talk about it, give you my thoughts, who it's for and who it's not. Okay, I am back. Got a little makeup on. I'll go ahead and tell you really quick what I have on the face. Just rocking some Maybelline Dream BB cream today. Yes, this is a BB cream, not a foundation. Absolutely love this stuff. I just wanted something to kind of help blur my imperfections. I wasn't looking for a full-on face, full beat today. So I have on this, and I have on Oldie But a Goodie. Y'all, I haven't used this in so long. I used to use this basically in every single video, but this is one of my favorite concealers, the Kat Von D Lock-It Concealer, and this is in the shade D35 Neutral. And then to set up under my eyes, I've got my Mineralized Skin Finish in Dark, and I am going to pick up a little bit of a lighter shade in this, so that way I can kind of just a tish highlight a little bit more. And then I set the rest of my face with the Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder in Honey. After that, we went in with just a little bit of Natasha Denona Sculpting Powder, just to add a little bit dimension to the face. And we bronzed today. And I did some bronzer today because I'm about to film a bronzer video right after this one. And I used the new NARS matte bronzer. It is very pretty, very red. So if you're a shade twin, now you know she's very red. And I went in with my favorite blush at the moment, Pillow Talk Intense by Miss Charlotte Tilbury. Now let's get into the eyes. Let me lower my seats just a little bit. There we go. Okay, so the first thing that we are going to do here is prime the eye. So I'm gonna go in with this little Master Eye Prep and Set in the shade Deep. And I want to go in with this lighter shade here. So from my understanding, this is Mario's way of just basically priming the eye before eyeshadow. This is going to help the eyeshadow stay in place, and also, of course, if you have any sort of discoloration or whatnot, then this will help you. And you also, I like that you get two shades. So you have a custom if you want to use a lighter one, a darker one, or if you need to mix, you can do so. Now, I have not tried the eyeshadow directly right on top of the cream product. I have been setting it with this powder down here. So I'm just gonna go ahead, and this doesn't feel drying on the eye either. So if you do have maybe a drier eyelid and you have some discoloration and you want to try something, you could totally use this one because it's not drying at all. It's nothing like the Urban Decay Primer Potion and Caffeine. Okay, so now I'm gonna take this shade right here, and we are just going to go ahead and set the eye. All right, cool. Super simple. Next up, go ahead and jump into eyeshadow. I'm gonna start by going all over my lid first, and I guess this is matte 1 right here, this shade. And we are just going to pack this starting on the inner corner lid, and then we're just gonna bring it all the way across. I love this shade if I'm just going for a very soft, natural, light matte lid look. This is a great shade for that. It's not too matte to the point where it's stark and pulls ashy on the eye. I feel like it gives just enough brightness as well. All right, then I'm going to take my Wayne Goss number 18 brush, same shade, and I'm just pulling it up into the crease here. All right, moving on to a Wayne Goss number 19. Now we're gonna take this shade right here in the middle. I guess this is matte 6. And then we're going to start by placing this in the crease. Next up, we're gonna go in with this shade down here, and I'm just gonna go right over that first shade we laid down. We're gonna start by bringing this down here first though. This is one of those shades, I was gonna try to save this with my thoughts, but I'll go ahead as we talk about it. So this shade right here, it pulls very, very warm brown in the pan, but when I put it on my eye, it looks very, very dark. I wasn't expecting this shade right here to look like this. So that was a little bit deceiving to me. Just wanna point that out. So we're gonna start by putting that there, and then we're gonna pull it up into the crease. I was trying really hard to go for a warmer matte look, but that is not how this came out at all. It's not bad, but it's just not what I was going for, per se. All right, now the next shade we're gonna go into is this beautiful burgundy shade right here. I'm taking my Wayne Goss number 18, and that's just gonna go right next to that brown we laid down. And in the center. We'll blend those two together. All right, then going back in with that flat brush in the first shade that I laid down. And then for the brow bone, I am gonna take a little bit of this light shade right here. I know it looks scary, but just hold on. It's not that bad. I'm just gonna lightly tap and then blend. Okay, now I'm going to take my Marc Jacobs highliner, no liner on the top line. All right, now we are going to go in with this dark charcoal brown right here. And you know what I realized? I have not at all tried this black, so we're gonna put a little black on the outside here, just so I can see how intense or not it is. That's pretty. So it's not one of those blazing blacks where you put it on and it's like payal, but still pretty nonetheless. And no liner on the top today, just simply because I want to maintain the longevity of my eyelash extensions. So I went back and I still got classic set, and I got a little bit more dramatic. So now I don't feel the need to put on mascara. And I know when you put on liner and stuff, you kind of risk the retention. So I just figured I would leave it. I don't really feel like I need liner with the lash extensions, but per my girl Jermaine's request, she sent me a picture of her hybrid eyelash set that she got. So my next go round, I'm gonna try that. So yeah, this is what we are looking like. And then we're gonna put on some mascara, again, only on the bottom, not touching the lash extensions because I want these bad boys to last. And honestly, I don't even think my first set, I think they held on pretty good. Alrighty. And then for lips today, I'm going to go in with a oldie but a goodie, MAC in Antique Velvet. Does MAC make Antique Velvet in a liquid lipstick? I need to see. All right, you guys, so here is our finished look using the Makeup by Mario eyeshadow palettes. All right, I am back. Makeup is on. First of all, can we just talk about my sweatshirt because this is a vibe. If you're a 90s kid, then you know, and if not, then you're lost. Okay, let's talk about the palette, shall we? First things first here, Master Eye Prep and Set. First of all, Mario Divanovic, I feel like this entire line is made for makeup artists. When I first saw it, I was like, oh, this is great, super, super cool. And then when I start thinking about it through a consumer mindset, or even someone who isn't a makeup enthusiast, you know, just an everyday, keep it simple kind of girl, I just kind of felt like, I don't necessarily know that these palettes are, I don't want to say consumer friendly, but they just strike me as palettes for makeup artists, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. That is what he is, and I truly feel like that is who he's marketing to. So now, with the Master Eye Prep and Set, there are 3 different variations of this. So you have this one being the deepest, and there's 2 lighter. Now, as far as this, I feel like for me, I'm not talking about for my professional use, my makeup artistry client kit use, but for me, this is something I do not need. Again, I have very, very oily eyelids, so the Urban Decay Primer Potion, it works just fine for me. Even if you are someone who maybe does have a drier eyelid situation, even still, to me, this is just such an artistry product. I would never recommend this to a client. Never, never, never. And it's not because it's bad. I feel like, especially if you are new to makeup, I feel like, first of all, this can be kind of daunting to you. And I just don't think that it's a consumer friendly product. That's just my personal opinion on it. Now, do I like it? Yes. Did it work good? Absolutely. All the times I've used it with the eyeshadow palette, my eyeshadow stayed on. I like that, you know, it kind of conceals and brightens. All that is cool. However, I just feel like there are so many other things that are on the market that are consumer friendly, if you will. You probably don't necessarily need this. I'm not gonna lie though, I wasn't paying attention. The reason why I picked this up in the first place, you guys, I thought this was a concealer situation, okay? That is the honest to goodness truth. I thought that these were concealers, and I thought that this was the under eye setting powder, and I put it on under my eyes, and I set, and I kind of looked at it, and I was like, maybe, I don't know. So I went to his Instagram, and I saw, and I was like, oh, that's not what this is for. But down below, let me know if you thought this was kind of like a concealing under eye highlight situation. Maybe it's just me, maybe I'm the only one, but all in all, it's a good palette. It's a great product. Is it something that I would recommend to you guys or to a client to go get? No, again, not bad. Moving right along to the eyeshadow palette. Now, again, he has other ones too that have a little bit more color option, and I believe more of like an iridescent shimmer situation. This is matte. We all have mattes. Yes, okay. It's neutral. Nothing innovative here. However, let's talk about how these wear. These wear just fine. I have no issues with them lasting on my oily lids. Secondly, the formula. The formula is okay. I'm gonna go ahead and give it to you guys straight, no chaser. Was I blown away by this palette? No. I was not blown away by this palette. Again, that's no slight to Mario. I love him. I love his technique. I love his artistry. I'm just specifically talking about this palette. It was just kind of like, yeah, okay. One thing that I did notice whenever I would use this palette, I felt like every shade I use would always go deep dark brown on me, if that makes any sense. So for instance, if I were to use this and maybe combine it with something else to blend out with, no matter what I did, I felt like I was kind of getting that cool tone, muddy situation look. And I feel like, who was it? It was Jermaine. She told me that she could not get this to work on her. It just pulled cool. I don't have cool tone eyelids. My eyelids don't have any discoloration, even with the primer on the eyes. Sorry guys, I keep looking down because as I'm telling you about it, I'm looking at my eyeshadow. I just felt like every time I would try to get different looks, it would just always look majority like a deep charcoal brown. Again, not a bad formula, blends fine, but that's just kind of what I got whenever I would use it. Today, I did use the black, and I must say I love this black. This is a great black to have because it's not one of those, I feel like, and this is just me speaking through my makeup artistry mind, I feel like I need that black that's just gonna be like, boom, get me there, like the Natasha Denona spot in her Biba palette. that black's gonna take you places. It's gonna get you straight to where you need. Whereas this one, it's more of a softer black. I'm sure you can build it up, but it's not gonna give it to you all the way, you know what I mean? Me personally, I don't mind shades where I have to kind of build them up just simply because it gives me more wiggle room. If you're using a palette, I know at one point on YouTube, pigmentation was all the rage. Like, oh, it's not pigmented. It's like, well, maybe that's not it. Maybe you just have to build it a little bit. Now, there are some of those palettes where you can just build, keep building and waiting for uses to rapture you up and you still will not have the shade. Y'all know, you've played with palettes like that before. That's not this though. So all in all, who is this palette for? This palette is for the neutral matte lover, okay? The price point for this, I believe, is $45. If you like simple, you like matte, you like neutrals, this is your gig. Now, is this a palette that I would recommend to my clients and you guys? It's just gonna vary, you know what I mean? Again, this is very basic, nothing wrong with basic sell. A lot of people get so mad, it's like, oh, this is boring, this is boring. Well, that's because of those basic, boring, neutral palettes. That's what the majority of people want. The majority of people don't want blue and purple eyeshadow. That's just what it is. Do we love blue and purple eyeshadow? Yes, but the majority, brands are trying to make money. They know that palettes like these is what's gonna sell. So is this something that I would recommend to my clients? Yeah, I would, but at the same time, if you're wondering if you need this, I'm going to tell you no, because I guarantee if you're watching this, you're a makeup lover. You probably already have palettes like this in your collection that are matte and neutral. My one thing with this palette though, you guys, I feel like it maybe lacks a little bit of depth, a little bit of oomph, if that makes any sense. I feel like no matter what I did when using this palette, my looks would just always come out a little bit cooler than what I was looking. I just feel like it always went left. Like it always went cool tone brown, and that was not the look that I was going for. Now today's look didn't happen that way because I did incorporate the black. However, had I not added the black in there, I think you just kind of would have felt the same. But that's just my 2 cents on this palette. Again, use your own discretion. You already have shades like these. Now, when I say I wish it packed more depth, y'all already know we're gonna compare. When you look at Biba, of course, Biba is not an all matte palette. However, this is very similar in color story, okay? You can see that they're in the same family. I feel like with Natasha Denona's shades, you have a little bit more depth in color. There's more saturation. That's the word, more saturation. I feel like this palette doesn't give me a lot of saturation, all right? So that is just my 2 cents. I am still on the fence of if I'm going to return or keep this. I will let you guys know. I'm feeling like I'm probably just gonna return it because, again, if I'm gonna reach for 2 palettes that I have in my kit, if it's gonna be this or Biba, it's probably just always gonna be Biba. So down below, let me know your thoughts. Do you like it? Have you tried it? Are you gonna try it? Y'all know the deal. I love you. Keep it simple, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.